Viruses are scary.
Okay, yeah, Futaba's right about that on multiple counts, since she's also a hacker, and also right about what she's saying right here. But welcome back to Persona 5 Royal. It is time to steal Shido's heart. I like how Futaba's actually petting Morgana there. Our hideout is actually the lower part of LeBlanc this time, just like it was in the early trailers. And something I want to point out on this screen here, and I'm deliberately not advancing the dialogue so that the menu doesn't cover it up. Yeah, if you look at Joker's idle animation, he is rubbing his head in the same place that he was hit in the interrogation. I don't know if that's intentionally meant to be, if that's what that is, intentionally, but if it is, it's a nice and disturbing detail. But let's hold a meeting before anything else.
Now then.
Ryuji obviously has his manga here.
Okay, it is time we start the meeting.
Okay, we're a little below the level of the shadows, good to know.
Okay, that's enough for now.
I know these meetings are actually kind of like, once you've seen one, you've seen them all. I like how Haru's drinking coffee there in the distance, but I like to show the meetings anyway. Let's infiltrate the cruise ship.
Alright, I'm gonna bust loose.
Yeah, Ryuji will certainly bust loose here. There are actually quite a few... Oh wow, his head distorted very weirdly. But there are quite a lot of enemies weak to electricity here.
Come on, let's go. Okay, let's get to work. Come on, Joker.
Before we get to work, though, I do want to use up this first alarm.
Do you need something?
Just so that when we fight more enemies in this place, we'll get more alarms. No reason not to use this one now. I've also got a lot of fodder personas that I can get rid of. For example, Cerberus and Yaxini makes Garuda a persona that I don't have yet.
It is neither remarkable
And I definitely
nor
want to get rid of
unremarkable.
Yaxini.
Choose which skills to inherit.
Why not? That's one of the first times a skill change has been significantly worse than it used to be. Yeah, Veda Lex probably better than Counter. Magarudine's pretty good, actually. Also, Windamp. I might want to do a Sacrifice Fusion just to get that.
The resulting card may be different than usual.
Nocturnal Flash is a decent skill card once I start getting access to Universal Law, since everything technical's off Dizzy.
You okay with this?
The only way I can get Raja Naga involves giving up Kormokatan, who's probably better. But I want that compendium completion.
Choose which skills to inherit.
This could bestow both of you to work.
You know what? Why not? Dodge Curse is a little weird, but Maziodine is nice. Especially in combination with Shock Boost. And I'll immediately dump Dodge Curse for that. I don't think I really want Makara-Khan. I don't want Evade Wind either.
More forcefully. Well, it is what it is.
Is this the power you wish to receive?
Okay, now Garuda is in gold, so this could be an accident. I forget if the accident guaranteed is if the recipient is gold or if the sacrifice is gold. It looks like it's if the sacrifice is gold. And there is Windamp. I doubt I'll be using Hysterical Slap much. That is actually not bad, because there's a mini-boss in this palace that likes to use Brainwash. That, combined with Rita Shower from that fight, might be a useful combo. Weirdly, I'll take that over Megaton Raid. And I just intentionally dumped Waffle to get an easy accident here, because I didn't really see anything else I wanted to get here. Annoyingly, there's nothing I can fuse a Nunta into right now, or at least nothing significantly strong, that will be able to inherit nuke skills, and so I won't be able to pass down Nuke Boost Freydine. Which sucks, so I'm gonna need to wait until there's a better candidate for that. But now, let's make sure that I have Raja Naga equipped for my double auto skills. In terms of party, though, Haru's one level behind, so I'll keep her. I'm going to take Ryuji and Arn here. I don't know, I just kind of felt like using Arn. And I kind of forgot that I could just warp to the central passage.
Now then, what do we do from here?
And everyone wants to talk!
Sorry.
And yeah, don't worry, we'll definitely be counting on you.
Now then.
Yep, every single thing with Shido is off the charts, apart from, you know, likability. And you're gonna ask for a skill card replication, which I don't want to use just yet. Yeah, I doubt it. In case you haven't figured it out by now, this palace is going to involve at least 5 mini-bosses, so yeah, it's sort of like a boss rush, but also a very long dungeon at the same time. People in general in the fanbase have very mixed thoughts on Shidos Palace. I still personally really like this one, kind of. Like, I do think it can run a little long, which you'll see in a bit. But at the same time, I love the climactic feel that I get from it. Like, when I first recorded the start of this place during the main story, just hearing this song just gets me pumped up so much.
Yep.
Indeed.
Our first destination, the restaurant. And speaking of this song, something that I specifically left until now to mention is that this music, if you listen to it very closely, it kind of sounds like Tokyo Daylight. And I think this is intentional. There's a lot of things this could mean. It could refer to, you know, Shido, his distortion extending to all of Tokyo and all of Japan. It could mean, you know, Shido wanting to rule all Japan. Or it could refer to the fact that Shido, being a politician who'll, you know, still need to be elected, in a sense, the people voting for him are also part of the problem.
I'm glad we won. Good work, everyone.
Because this brand of politicians, they don't arise in a... Wow, okay, I was really good that I did that alarm when I did, because now I immediately got another one. But they don't arise in a vacuum. Usually, they're endemic of some kind of major societal problem. The fact that a politician like Shido can arise and run on a platform like the one he's doing. And yeah, all of these people, his inner circle, who are going to be granted great wealth and success. I also love the love the icon for Shido security meter here.
Show me your true form.
It's also interesting that with that icon, it's Shido's real world self, not his shadow, which we haven't even seen yet. It just kind of goes to show that we now know exactly the kind of person he is in real life, so we don't need to have the enemy here depicted in their shadow form. We already know that his real self is just that bad. In fact, even the art book actually mentions how they specifically designed Shido that way to have that sort of like that suit and that particular appearance, so that he kind of looks just like a regular upstanding member of society to those uninformed. And it makes his true nature difficult to ascertain for people who aren't completely in the know of just what kind of person he is. I actually meant to use Tentara food there, but oh hey, that actually worked out. I can't believe I called this thing a lion earlier. I mean, it does look like a lion, and its paws look a lot more feline than canine, but being Cerberus, it is definitely supposed to be a dog.
Yeah! Nice!
Just like I thought.
This reminds me that I was recently in somebody's house, and they had this really nice Shiba Inu dog, and I was just sitting in a room, just relaxing, and the dog just came into the room with this gigantic smile on its face, as if it was just saying, "Hi, I just wanted to say I'm really happy right now. Okay, bye." And then it just left the room. It's just like, I generally prefer cats, but the right kind of dogs, they can be fun too. Also, I went completely the wrong direction. I got distracted by talking about dogs. Because yeah, this restaurant, we actually do need to find the staircases in order to move in the direction of progress, which is not electing Shido. But this restaurant does kind of remind me, yeah, it says here, the Ark of Elite. We've got these, better look at the United Future Party logo here. Here is the entrance to the restaurant, but it does remind me a little bit of some, like, high-class restaurants that I've been to. I've never been on a cruise ship, and I probably don't want to anytime soon. But I have been to some kind of upmarket establishments sometimes. I mean, it's unfair to stereotype them all like this. And yeah, I mean, I know I make all those jokes with the buffet and the, oh, there's poor people there and stuff, but yeah, there are a lot of these high-class restaurants that, you know, if you eat there once, they're usually fine. The enemies here are mostly the same kind of things we fought earlier, and yeah, this is the reason why I brought Arn, one of them, because we can just do this. Eventually, she's gonna learn Fire Amp, and then I'll need to switch her accessory. But until that point, she's doing a lot of damage to these things. I think if Lend Me Your Power appears like once, it'll be that case for every shadow in the fight. I don't think you have to specifically check every individual one. I'm sure we saw Arn's finisher a little bit in Sire's Palace. It's funny how it feels like it's been ages since we were in Sire's Palace, even though it's, hasn't really been that long. As I've said before, like, I do like the fact that you pretty much jump straight from the Nijima arc into the Shido arc. So that does exasperate an issue that I have with the Shido arc, but I'll save that topic for later because this is a long palace, and there's quite a few topics I want to hit here. Not least of which is the fact that Shanae Hook and Haru is a very good combination. You know, I probably should have customized the poor Omba in Untouchable while I had the chance. I said in his bio that he was massively improved in Royal by virtue of the fact that he can actually customize Velvet Room guns now. I really should be making more use of that. It looks like you have to be a member to enter that restaurant then. We also have this. Only one of these Daramas is stealable, but this is locked.
Can we go around to the other side?
We can't do anything with that right now. And we will not be able to do anything with that for a long time. So let's check out the restaurant first. Even the restaurant has the United Future Party branding. The Ark of Elite Restaurants. Or Ristorante Elite, because everything sounds more elite in French.
No!
Oh, actually, no, I'm wrong. Italian. Yeah, I hate it when I get things like that wrong, but, yeah, when I was in Italy, my head kept going to French because I was also in France a couple of weeks earlier.
What?
I did sort of a tour of Europe. Well, let's see if we are allowed exclusive membership here. I mean, we are pretty much Shido's public enemy #1. Perhaps they would grant us membership if it meant luring us into a trap or something. Yeah, those, like, wall light sconces, I've certainly seen things like that in real restaurants. Not actually particularly upmarket ones, just ones that wanted to look upmarket. Yeah, well, let's try and hide the fact that we kind of boarded illegally. And don't have one of those.
This is...
Yep, we should not let them realize until it's too late that we don't have boarding passes. So, let's head back and regroup. I like how you can actually see, like, the outside through here. If it weren't for them being hotbeds of diseases, maybe one day I would like to go on a cruise ship. So yeah, now we finally have to poke around here and talk to the NPCs. This place is kind of a combination of a giant dungeon and a town, even more so than Nijima's palace where there were just mini-games. Famous congressman. Okay, well, that's probably the guy we're supposed to be meeting with, quote-unquote, but it doesn't look like, that's going to bring us any closer to getting a membership card. I wonder if this guy has anything to say. Okay, we've already heard from you. We didn't check upstairs of the restaurant, though, before. Oh, hi there. I'm very surprised you didn't see me, but I guess I do have Oya's rank 10 ability now, so I can ambush them regardless.
Surprise attacks?
Okay, I have Wind Amp, and I get technical off of Confuse now with Wind.
Knocked them right off their feet.
That was a lot less impressive than I expected.
Do it!
Now handle this.
Let's do something to earn applause.
Showtime!
Enthralled.
Enchanted.
I can't believe that's only the second time I'm seeing that, and that I've never even seen... Oh, you're completely immune to guns, okay then. That I've never even seen the Haru and Makoto one at all yet. Yeah, Triple Down's not showing technical because this thing's immune to guns. And that's gonna be a running thing a little later in the palace.
Great, huh? Okay, let's move on.
Wow, we're still doing like an average of the mid-200s with weaknesses normally, and then Arn's just casually doing in the 400s because of that amp accessory.
Bored now.
Really goes to
Go
show
find
how
a
strong that is.
enemy.
Okay, he's not saying anything. This is what we needed. Oh no, I dropped the restaurant key.
Hey,
I'm not sure I'd brag about knowing Shido personally. I feel like that's just as likely to get you killed as crossing him because he's that paranoid. So with this, we now have to ask around the bars. Did anybody drop something here? That restaurant thing. So, well, there are several bars, so let's check another one.
I have something.
However, you can see a trail of footprints if you use Third Eye here. I like that this mechanic is coming back from Kamoshida's palace. It's kind of been since then that we used it. So yeah, this is the guest themselves. So if we follow this trail of footprints, I also like the touch that the footprints are facing backwards from this direction because obviously they walked that way and ended where they were there, but they go down these stairs and around here to this bar. Let's have a drink. Oh, no, not the boarding pass again. Scratch that. We're underage anyway. So yeah, there are two ways you can get this. You can either just check all of the bars until you get the right one, or you can follow the footprints with Third Eye. I like that. I love Ryuji's hypothesis here that the NPCs here are all stupid because Shido thinks everyone around him is incompetent. It's just, that's one of the things I like about Persona 5, the fact that the, like, just the symbolism in the palaces, like, one thing I'm not as fond of is the fact that the game generally just explicitly spells out to you what they all represent, rather than letting the player figure it out for themselves. That's one thing that I like about Persona Q. But I still like just the symbolism in all of these palaces, just the way that everything reflects the ruler's state of mind and how they view people. But okay, the enemy that's coming up here I believe is weak to Sai, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and put Makoto in the party. I'm gonna keep Ryuji just for reasons, and also because due to what's coming up, it's gonna be kind of funny. But, yeah, I'll take Makoto and Haru for the weakness. And there's no save point before this, so you may want to head back and use a save point before you do this. Because Makoto is warning you, it's gonna be mini-boss time in a moment. They're not even gonna ask us for our boarding passes. I guess it's the membership card is all we need.
This is... Huh.
And this is why I am bringing Ryuji here, because it's kind of like a, the duality of man comparison.
Oh my.
That must be the table.
Right. That influential politician comes here.
Why don't we have a seat at the table next to it and wait for him? I'll go. He may become guarded if we go in a big group.
Of all of us, you and Haru are the ones who look the most at home in a place like this.
Wouldn't it be odd with just one girl sitting there, though?
Also, wouldn't it be odd to have a weird cartoon cat thing in the restaurant? Pretty sure no guests have any pets that look like that.
Does someone want to come with me?
Well, hey, we could treat this as a date.
Hold up, Joker. Let me go with her. I mean, dude, it's a restaurant.
What are you, a preschooler?
I was wondering why you were so excited about this.
We did already have sushi at an expensive restaurant, a buffet at an expensive restaurant.
Why isn't anyone asking me to do this?
Again, you are by far the most conspicuous one here.
All right, we're going in. Everyone else stay nearby. I'll give the signal when the time is right.
Man, what should I eat?
I'm sure, I don't even, like, heck, I don't even know what the cognitive food here is going to taste like. It depends on what Shido thinks, and, I don't trust what he's thinking.
You can't get full off of food in a palace.
Yeah, like, because the cognitions are all not real, I'd imagine that eating food in the palace doesn't, like, fill you up at all, so that would be a really strange and surreal feeling.
He's as dumb as ever.
I can't read this.
Oh yeah, right, it's Italian.
I'll have the sautéed foie gras.
Oh yeah, isn't that like sheep's guts or something?
A salad garnished with truffles and roasted lamb, please.
That's a lot.
Can't believe you can order so easily like that. Say, ain't we kinda young compared to the others here? They're all involved with Shido, yeah?
True, we haven't seen any young people here, not even children of politicians like Sugimura.
They seem to be major figures in the political and financial worlds.
On whose permission are you sitting there, brats?
Well, it looks like our plan worked. We found exactly who we wanted to.
Whose? I don't see any reserved signs or nothing here.
It'd be a nuisance if you'd make a racket next to my table. I wish to dine leisurely. Children like you who are simply hungry should leave.
What was that?
Ryuji, we're supposed to blend in.
Skull, be quiet.
Sorry.
I apologize for our discourtesy.
Well, it's time for you to find out if you're a better actor than Arn.
If you understand, then go home.
Excuse me, but might you be Mr. Oe?
Indeed I am.
This will be an impudent request, but would you provide us a letter of introduction to Mr. Shido?
From the looks of it, you appear to be minors. Why do you need an introduction?
We wish to be granted an audience with him. His political ideology resonates so much with us. Of course, the same can be said about you, Mr. Oe.
You have quite the silver tongue for one so young. Not that I mind it. Are you a high school student?
Yes, sir.
Only for a year longer, though.
Speaking of high schools, I've heard that some principal somewhere kicked the bucket. He supposedly tried to leak Mr. Shido's name.
And here is an example of an internal reveal, a plot device that I like, because we, the players, know that. Okay, I mean, we don't technically know that, like, he was working with Shido, but at this point, it's pretty obvious who he was talking to on the phone, given that he got killed for almost exposing them. But the Phantom Thieves don't know this yet.
Had he simply obeyed, he could have remained in the upper echelons. To think he would cast all that away.
Yeah, that guy was clearly just a toady going along with it for the promise of prestige. I wonder if Shido was funneling money into the school somehow.
An elite such as myself can't even fathom why someone would do such a thing.
Oh yeah, heaven forbid somebody would have like an attack of conscience or anything.
If you pledge your loyalty, you're given the honor of selecting those who would have mental shutdowns.
Did you ask Mr. Shido to trigger a mental shutdown in someone as well?
More or less.
Okay, wow, she is good. She's getting him to straight up admit this.
Considering your caliber, I would assume that the target must have been someone quite important.
Important? No. The target himself was nothing that impressive.
Oh, you must be being modest.
Yes, being modest about your assassination victims, that's a new one.
You recall the subway accident early last spring? The one I had targeted was that engineer.
That was you?
It was to take out the president of some company and a diplomat who sided with current government.
I see. That was very useful, Mr. Oe.
By the way, did you know that my sister works in the public prosecution's office? You're going down for that.
Actually, my sister is a prosecutor at the public prosecutor's office. I could pass on what you just said to her. How about it? Won't you give us a letter of introduction?
Whoa, Makoto is scary when she's not on your side. Straight up blackmail over this. I don't know exactly how much, like how admissible a cognition's testimony would be in a court of law, though.
Is that a threat? Who are you two?
The letter of introduction, please.
Yes, who we are is not important.
Don't get cocky, brats. I'll never give you one.
Looks like you have one, though. Well, guess it's time to use brute force.
Like we weren't already prepared to do that. Let's go.
Guys!
And yeah, this guy is Orochi, which is actually kind of cool. Shadow Politician.
The opponent is strong. Don't do anything
Or
reckless.
Politician Oe. These guys all have their own, like, unique boss names. But if the SMT wiki isn't steering me wrong, again, he should be weak to Psy.
Persona!
Okay, firstly... Oh, I still have Vault Guardian on you. Firstly, let's see...
Vehicle!
I could actually go for a charge.
There.
While you also charge yourself.
Persona!
You know what? Let's just go for a full-on charging party. Okay, Mode of Truth. Aha, good, it was a weakness. The question is, do I baton pass to Ren or to Makoto here? I'm gonna go Ren. So I've charged, and I have Deadly Fury. Let's see how much this does. I like to see numbers over 1,000. Okay, now you're just gonna... how about we just Megaton raid you?
What's the plan?
Oh, he's going next. Right. I do have Enduring Soul in this persona, so Joker himself is pretty much safe.
That's not right.
Let's see how much one-shot kill does. With a spear poke, apparently. Oh, okay, you're one of those bosses. You're not going to actually attack until you've just fully buffed yourself. And in a game where my party can rack up damage very quickly, that's not exactly good for you. Goodbye. Kind of glad that Makoto got the finishing blow there. Only one person leveled up from that. Actually, I don't even know how many significant personas there are who are level 57 anyway.
All right, we got a letter of introduction.
Please keep the truth of that subway accident a secret.
Not so much. Also, did you just change voice actors?
Fine.
In any case, it turns out Principal Kobayakawa was connected to Shido after all.
After all, so yeah, they had their suspicions. It makes sense given that he got killed, he had a calling card planted on him and we didn't do it.
No wonder he was so adamant about me digging up information on the Phantom Thieves.
And yeah, all that time, you just thought that Kobayakawa was a corrupt a-hole in authority, but he was even worse than that. He was being pressured to capture the Phantom Thieves because they were a threat to, some very bad people that he was involved with.
Still, I can't believe Shido just killed him so nonchalantly.
The entire nation is underwater in his palace. He must feel nothing toward one measly educator.
In any case, even though that politician was cognitive, he turned into a monster.
Well, I mean, Wakaba did, but then again, that was because Futaba saw her in such a negative light.
Up until Kanashiro's palace, cognitive beings were nothing more than weak presences.
No, that Oe fellow just now wasn't a cognition.
But he had the memories and appearance of an actual person.
He was probably a shadow fused with a cognition. It's like making the shadow wear human skin.
This is a plot point I always found a little weird since it's never really fully explained and only shows up this late into the game.
I've never seen anything like that before. Such power is normally impossible.
Wasn't Shido the one who destroyed the research done by Oracle's mother on cognition?
And this is the justification for it they give.
Oh, do you think that when he did, he took the results for his own purposes? Shido. For all we know, Shido could have some hidden trick that allows him to tamper with his own palace. We need to be especially careful from here on out.
This is overall a plot point that I wish they did more with.
Yes, of course. I will continue accepting them, even after I am inaugurated as Prime Minister.
As expected from you, Mr. Shido. You are truly a reliable man.
And now I think his voice actor is back to normal, so that means I assume that previous scene was only voiced in Royal, but all of this stuff was voiced in the original too.
And in return, I only ask for your continued support. Standing up to the world does require money.
Of course. I'll make sure to prepare compensation as thanks for your help in cleaning up. The incident with that accident in spring was very beneficial. This is all thanks to you, sir.
If the study of cognitive science progresses, I believe it's possible to increase the target range.
I bid you good luck with that endeavor. I hope you will continue to assist us.
I like that evil, head tilt grin there.
Hey!
It might be possible for Shido to even affect people in other countries' governments if we let him have his way. So yeah, our next stop is the pool deck. And this is another issue about this palace. Despite the fact that it's quite big, it is extremely linear. It's very much a straight line. While we're here though, the music that's playing right now, it's a variant on the theme of the palace, and its official title in the track listing is Impromptu for the Next Prime Minister. which I think is pretty great. In order to get to the pool deck, though, we first have to cross through the upper cabins. And these are the parts that I mentioned earlier as not being on the map. And they're also the real meat of Shidos Palace. Because if we look at our map here, it's taking a while. Here we go, it's loaded. Yeah, they are basically mazes.
I have something.
The effects of cognition are low here. Is there a safe room nearby?
Thankfully, there's a safe room right after that boss. I think Royal did add more safe rooms to this palace. They were already fairly generous with them, even the original. Also, this is something that I love about the safe rooms in Shidos Palace. Like, in my first few playthroughs, I never even noticed this whole other area with these luxurious beds that you can find Futaba in.
Hey.
I was more impressed by her whole blackmail thing than the ordering. Yeah, she was definitely really good at negotiation there, even though we had to fight the enemy anyway.
What are your thoughts?
Got one,
Shall we
and
go?
I don't even have a whole lot more, like, actual personas of them. Yeah, I didn't even pick up any new personas. So I'm not going to head back to the Velvet Room just yet. I think next time we'll be exploring the halls of this place and getting to know another gimmick of Shidos Palace. See you all then.
I should write something.